Hello everyone, it's Theme Park Avenue. I'm Eric, back with a brand new tier list. Today, I'm ranking every roller coaster and some other rides at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Before we begin, subscribe so you know when new theme park content comes out. Now for this list, I'll quickly go through what the tiers will mean. S tier will be amazing rides that I think are some of the best in the entire world. A is still great rides but not quite in the top tier. B is enjoyable ones that I'll prioritize when I go, but not over the top tiers. C is serviceable rides but ones I'm not really that interested in re-riding. And then D is just going to be straight up bad rides. And those I've not ridden will go in this tier here. And I will be ranking them within the tiers so you'll know my overall ride ranking for the park. Let's begin with Joker Carnival of Chaos. This is the best Frisbee ride I've been on. The queue is fantastic, it has really strong airtime, the height can be felt. I'm debating between A or B. I might change this later down the road, but I think for now, I'm leaning toward A. It's going to be bottom of A tier if it is still there, but it's a fantastic ride, honestly. I just prefer some roller coasters. Now we have the River Rapids, which I thought was Gully Washer. That's going to go B tier. It's good, but not a standout ride. One of the better Rapids rides, but still not one I need to get on again. Alright, so I'm putting Wonder Woman in the haven't ridden tier because it was closed for maintenance when I went. Superman Krypton Coaster, that's in A tier for sure, above Joker. It's probably the best B&M floorless. The elements give great hang time, and even though it doesn't have a great sense of speed necessarily, the interaction with the quarry wall is just fantastic. And I think it's a pretty excellent ride overall. Skyscreamer, that'll go in the B tier, definitely above the River Rapids. Skyscreamer is right along the quarry wall, which is interesting. You get to be right about the waterfalls, and you get solid views of the park as well, even if it's not super thrilling. Boomerang Coast to Coaster. Now this one's not the worst Boomerang, but it's not great. I'll put it in C tier. It's a fine ride, but really not one I want to go on that much again. Roadrunner Express, that will go in the same tier. I'm thinking probably below it. I think it's a pretty bumpy mine train despite being one of the newest. It does have a nice setting and terrain and all, and I like that, but I do have to take off some points for the fact that it's not as easy to enjoy due to roughness. Batman the Ride, the best 40 free spin I've been on. It has a very good queue, really good honestly, and I think it was really fun. I will put it in the B tier. Top of B tier for now. Alright, so now we have the Super Loop Fireball, I believe is the name of that one. They all blend together for me. I almost want to put it in D tier because it's really just kind of a lame ride, but there was some fun hang time. I'll put it at the bottom of the C tier. Really not a top priority if you go. Now Bugs Whitewater Rapids, excellent log flume. The medieval queue, some fun theming throughout, even airtime on some of the hills, and there's good splashing. I'll put it at the top of the B tier. Definitely a strong ride. Now Goliath, that B&M invert, Batman the Ride clone of course, is a fun one. Not as good as Superman for me. I said not as good, sorry I put it in the wrong area, but I think it gives foot numbness more than others, but I think it's still a very intense fun ride. As a whole, those Batman clones are very underrated, and I very much enjoy them. Now for Poltergeist. This is the old colors, but I really like the new ones, and the queue is now fantastic. Add that with the amazing ride experience in terms of the first half's very disorienting nature, and the solid speed of the second. I think I slightly prefer Joker's Jinx despite the queue, but it's still good. It's going to be between Goliath and Joker Carnival of Chaos. And looking at this, I think I will be keeping Joker in A tier. Pandemonium. Pandemonium is a good ride. I think it can give some really strong spinning, and being near the quarry wall is fun as well. I'll put it one spot above the River Rapids. I'm thinking maybe above the Skyscreamer too. Pretty close, I think I'll leave it the way it is though. And finally, we have Iron Rattler. That is definitely S tier. It's one of my favorite roller coasters out there, top 10 for sure out of quite a few. The first drop is one of the best. The inversions are excellent. Interacting with the quarry wall is pretty much unmatched. No ride does it as well as this one. The drop off the quarry wall is fantastic, and going into that dive into the tunnel is unbelievable. The part that's on the quarry wall, people complain that it's slow. I disagree. So overall, this is my list. We have I Am Rattler as the sole S tier of the park. I definitely think it is the best attraction. And then in A tier, we have the B&Ms, Poltergeist, and Joker Carnival of Chaos at the bottom of that. And then B tier is a variety of solid roller coasters, and also just some really fun water rides and the Sky Screamer. Now, I feel there's a pretty big gap between the best B tier and the weakest. You have an average, but slightly above average, maybe Water Rapids ride against a really strong Log Flume. And then C tier, you have the serviceable Boomerang, Mine Train, and Super Loop. And then I have not ridden Wonder Woman. But that is the Six Flags Fiesta Texas tier list. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below your thoughts, and subscribe so you know when new content comes out. Not just tier lists, but a whole lot more. I'll see you next time.